What is the upskis, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the GxGamerCast. We're on episode 181 of my little gaming show where once a week I just have to talk about video games. Whether they're new video games that I'm playing today, old video games that I grew up with, it doesn't matter. Video games. And today we're taking a look at one of my retro backlog games that I have been dying to play this game forever, and that is Paper Mario, the 1,000-Year Door. We're going to be reviewing that game today. And I bought the Switch version of it, and I'll discuss the new additions to that game once we get into the episode and all that stuff, and let you know how much of a remaster this actually is, and if it's still worth playing today, of course, absolutely. But before we dive into the review, let us discuss what I've been up to over the last week or so, as I always encourage you, the viewer, the listener. Let me know what you all have been up to over whatever amount of time. What games are you diving into right now? What movies have you seen lately? And are you diving into any awesome TV shows? Let me know, as I'm going to let you know what I've been up to. All right, we got Fallout Season 2. Seems like I had the same feeling on Season 2 as most of the other people, at least the from the podcasts that I listen to. It's good, but not great. It's not as great as Season 1 was. I really enjoyed Season 1. You know, the introduction to the world and the characters were so great. It was just, so freaking good. And now, a lot of the storylines that they got going on, continuous storylines throughout the show, I don't know, just really aren't bearing any fruit. The mysteries and the vaults are kind of like, and yeah, there's been some good highlights, though, for sure. I mean, the Death Claws have been kind of cool. Spoilers, I guess. But yeah, Death Claws, they're all over in Season 2. There's quite a bit of them. I got a couple of episodes left to go, and then I am done Season 2. So I still got the finale. I think I need to watch 6, 7, and 8. So I think I got 3 more episodes to go. But the show is done now, so I'm ready to go. So I got to finish off Fallout Season 2, and we can review that. It's not going to get its own episode or anything, but I can finally put a score on Season 2. I've been just going through it really slowly. It's taken me like a couple of weeks here to get through it, so I got to start watching them a little more fast here. But regardless, it's still good. Don't get me wrong. It's not bad. It's good. It's still good. It's just not as good as Season 1. I'm not having as good of a time. And there's not a lot of Maximus. I'm not noticing a lot of Maximus in this season. I know he was kind of like everyone's least favorite of the characters, but I like Maximus. I thought he was cool. Anyway, also been watching Survivor, of course, back on the Survivor train. Finished off Season 15 in China. That was a very good season right there. Some good twists. There was a funny elimination. A guy got eliminated, and he had two hidden immunity idols. Like, damn, son, like, you got fucked. He was way too confident, and they caught him sleeping, and they eliminated him with 2 idols in his pocket, so that was a good elimination right there. I was a little disappointed in the winner. Like, the winner, it wasn't that he wasn't deserving or anything. I just felt like the females were more prominent in that season, and I always feel like the females just don't get the respect that they deserve in Survivor. They tend to not get the wins as often as I feel like they should. But regardless, it was another good season, and we started off Season 16, and this looks like it's going to be a fun season because it's fans versus favorites. So that's a good time. So you got, I think it's 10, super fans. They love the show. They know everything. They got all these strategies. We know what we're doing, blah, blah, blah. And then they bring in the fan favorites, which is sweet. The guy that got eliminated with 2 hidden immunities in his pocket, he's back. And he was just on the last season, so he's back. You got favorites like Ozzy, Siri, what's her name? Siri, I think her name's Siri. She's back. Pavardi is back, so she's doing her slutty thing that she's always doing, just slutting it up with everybody. Oh boy, so that's a good time. Been watching lots of Survivor, so that's what I've been watching in terms of games. Oh boy, still playing Arc Raiders. I had my first kind of bad session with Arc Raiders last week, where I played 3 games in a row, and we just got our asses handed to us. People took us out, took all my good guns. I was just out there hunting Big Arc, trying to take out some Bastions, trying to take out some Rocketeers and shit like that. I got my big weapons out, and people are just being dicks and killing me, killing my squad and taking us out, not being cool. But admittedly, playing it again this week, had a very good week. People were very polite. being cool. They weren't being dicks. They weren't shooting at me for no reason. There was one guy actually had a moment in a solo. Like, I rarely ever have problems in solo, but I was just doing a mission in solo randomly, and I'm like out in the middle of nowhere doing this mission, and I just see a guy, single guy, just standing there, and he's like looking at me. I'm like, oh, this doesn't feel good. And next thing you know, he pulls out his pistol and shoots the shit out of me, and I'm dead. And I'm like, what the hell, man? Like, just out here with a free loadout doing some missions. Like, I don't have anything, so that was annoying. But I can feel the steam starting to come out of the balloon for Arc Raiders a little bit. Not that I still enjoy the game a lot. It's just that there's not as much to do anymore. I've kind of done everything that I want to do, but there are still some big things I need to do in Arc Raiders. Like, I haven't taken out the Matriarch, haven't taken out the Queen, haven't done any of that yet, so I don't know, like, what to do with that. It just seems like I'm not prepared. I don't know. I guess I'll just have to try and take a chance and just go for it and see what it's like, because I haven't really gone near that thing at all. I've seen the Queen, I've seen the whole thing, and I'm just like, nah, that looks way too big, way too intense. I don't have the firepower or the manpower to get that done, but still really enjoying Arc Raiders, of course, still putting in the hours. Trying to, like, do the trophy list, and there's some really tricky ones on that trophy list, I will admit. I doubt I'm ever gonna get the platinum on that game. It's way too intense. There's some shit you gotta, like, ride a Rocketeer or something and do damage while you're riding it, and I'm like, what the fuck? And you gotta trick an Arc to attack someone with a lure grenade, and I'm like, alright, there's some tricky shit in there. And also, hitting level 75 is crazy. I put in probably closer to 90 hours in this game, and I'm only like level 48. I'm almost level 50. So I still have 25 levels more to go, and that's just, I can't see myself hitting that level cap. So unless they add in something amazingly new that really draws me back in, but I can feel the steam starting to come out of the balloon a little bit here for Arc Raiders. But I did play a lot of it this weekend, admittedly, so I don't know, but not a lot of steam, but I can feel it. It's almost time to move on from Arc Raiders. And I have been playing other games. So I played Gears of War Reloaded with the homie Jesse. We absolutely slaughtered that campaign. Like 3 sittings, I think we got through that campaign. Not very long. So I'm planning on doing an episode on Gears of War, but I might pair it with Gears of War 2, because Jesse and I are planning on playing that as well. And there admittedly wasn't that much meat on the bone for Gears of War. I played through it, did the campaign, and I got my notes, but there's not that many notes, so I don't know if I can get a whole episode out of Gears of War by itself. I never played the multiplayer. I played it, but I wasn't huge into it, so I don't have, like, a lot to say about the multiplayer that probably some other players would, because I just didn't play it that much. I don't really know, like, the maps. I don't really remember. I don't have any real memories for that, but I'm hoping to do a Gears of War, maybe Gears of War 2 episode. Something is coming with Gears of War for sure, because I'm playing Gears of War. It's one of my favorite franchises of all time. I love Gears of War, and I still love Gears of War, the original game. It's still so good. So I'll definitely be doing an episode on that. Been playing some Balatro still on my Switch when I'm watching some Survivor or watching some wrestling. I'll get in some rounds of Balatro. Really good game, man. I still have some decks to finish off, so I'm just trying to finish off all the decks. They're challenging, definitely challenging. You know, one that I'm doing right now, it takes away one of your consumable slots. So I'm trying to fuck around with different things. I'm trying, like, pairs, 2 pairs, just trying some different strategies out, because I tend to stay with my same strategy. My tried and true straights seems to always get me through, but I'm trying some other strategies out, and it's been fun. Been a good time. And we also started up another new game, Warhammer 40K Space Marine 2. I think that's what it's called. It's a hell of a mouthful of a game, but it is something. Jesse said he suggested this game to me, and I was like, all right. Looked at some gameplay. I'm like, shit, that looks pretty fucking good. Kind of looks like Gears of War meets Fallout meets I don't know what else. Definitely something with Gears of War. Helldivers, honestly, it definitely feels like Helldivers, and it's very comparable to Helldivers, and admittedly, I'm having a better time with this Warhammer game so far than I have with Helldivers. I think the shooting is just way more clean, and so far, I'm very surprised by this game, Warhammer 40K Space Marine 2. Fucking, they should shorten that name a little bit, but I've never played, I have no idea about the Warhammer games. I've never played them before. This is my first one, and it is something. It's like a third-person shooter. I don't know. It's not really, you're not really evacing or anything, but it's just a third-person shooter, and you also have this awesome melee combat to it where you're parrying, and I'm very impressed. Very gorgeous looking video game, by the way. Absolutely gorgeous. Don't know if I'm going to do an episode on it. I'm kind of just enjoying it. I'm just playing the game and just enjoying myself. I don't know if it needs an episode. Maybe I can pair it with something like more underrated games or something like that. There's something that can be done with it, but I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. But very impressed so far. Very, very impressed. The gameplay's right there. Very fun. The graphics are blowing me away. Like, oh, hell yeah. And it's co-op, so I'm having a blast. It's a lot of fun playing it with Jesse. And that's pretty much everything I've been up to over the last week. So there we go, everybody. Let us do this. Let us talk about Nintendo's Paper Mario: The 1,000-Year Door. Let's do this. Oh, Paper Mario. Feels so good to finally get this game off my list. I have wanted to play this game for well over 10 years. I originally saw it, I played the original Paper Mario way back in the day. I got it on my N64 for an amazing deal. That's a story for another day. But I played Paper Mario, absolutely loved it. And of course I wanted to play the sequel, but the sequel was so hard to find, and to find for a reasonable price at the time. Not a thing I could do. Definitely a game that was out of my price range at the time. And for a very long time, it was just a game I was not able to track down. And finally, they announced they're going to re-release it on the Switch. I was over the moon. I was like, yes, thank goodness. Finally have a way to access this game and to play it on my Switch. Boom. Got it as soon as it went on sale. Got it for $55. Absolutely a steal of a deal for this game. And it originally released in 2004. That is crazy. This game is well over 20 years old. And admittedly, they didn't do a lot with the Switch version of the game. They did add in some new bosses that I didn't notice. They added in some new badges, fast travel system, which was really nice. So they have this like new room that's filled with all, like, every time you visit a new area, you can come back down to this room, and it'll have a new tunnel that you can go, a new tube, a pipe, there you go, a pipe that you can go into, and you can quickly get back to that little city or that little area that you need to get to. So that was a good addition. They got a new hint system, also a very big addition to the game. So you just hit the button whenever you're stuck, and they'll give you a little clue. They'll be like, oh, maybe you need to go look over at this area, or you need to go west, or you need to something like that. And that I used that button hundreds and hundreds of times, because I was like, okay, where am I going? What am I doing? The game doesn't really do a great job. Like, I don't know what it was like originally. So I don't know if I probably would have had a big problem with this game originally without that hint system, because I was turned around all the time in this game, admittedly. They also have some new, more coins after bosses, so you get an extra bonus of 100 coins whenever you beat a boss. Apparently some extra quizzes and stuff like that. But the core game has been untouched, pretty much. Like, no changing of the story, no anything like that. I believe the graphics have been upgraded to be in HD and everything like that. So, yeah, it's not what we call a remake. It's just a remastered of the original game. The graphics are upgraded, added in a couple of, what would we call those, quality of life updates, and yeah, you're off and running. So I am going to be qualifying this game as a retro game. It's going to be qualified for all that because it's pretty much untouched from its original 2004 game. So it's still very close to the original. So I'm going to qualify this as a game from 2004 still, even though I just got it. Regardless, those are the new additions to the game, and the basic concept of the story, you know, the usual thing. Peach is fucking doing stuff, but Peach acquires a map to a secret treasure, but she's too damn lazy, and she also gets herself captured again, so Mario's gotta come in and do it, and he's gotta collect 7 crystal stars to open the 1,000-year door that has the secret awesome mega treasure behind it. So that's the basic concept of the story of the game. But if you're not familiar with Paper Mario, it's It's the Nintendo's kind of RPG Mario game. Very introductory level RPGs. They're very simple. They're very basic. I will talk about the difficulty of this game once we get a little into it. I do have a difficulty story for you. But they're generally entry-level RPGs, pretty simple, pretty basic, but I really enjoy them. Admittedly, I have not played the original Mario RPG. I have watched Let's Plays of it. I have played it. I have just never beaten that game myself. I do plan on purchasing the Switch version of the game. I've seen it on sale, so I just didn't pull the trigger. I was like, do I really like Mario RPG? And after some time thinking about it, yes, I absolutely do. And I would love to have that in my collection for the Mario RPG series. But I'm not 100% where this series falls under. Like, you got Paper Mario, and then you also have like the Brothers series, like on DS and stuff, the Mario and Luigi games. I played a few of those, like Bowser Inside Story. They kind of share some similar elements to this RPG series, but I don't know. I think Paper Mario is Paper Mario plus, all the Paper Mario games plus Mario RPG, because RPG kind of got it kicked off. Even though it doesn't have the paper aesthetic to it, it kind of does at the same time, because it's like 2D, 3D kind of thing. Anyway, we're not talking about Paper Mario RPG, but just familiarizing you with this game. It's an RPG, turn-based RPG, and it's a straight-up Mario RPG, and it is awesome. I don't know where it falls. I don't think I like them more than like the 3D Mario games. I really enjoy 3D Mario. I really enjoy the 2D Mario games as well, but I still think 3D Mario games are king to me. But the RPG series, right there, like 1A, 1B, 1C, it's those three style of games for Mario. But I'm a huge RPG guy. I love RPGs just in general. Any kind of RPG, I really enjoy them. Western, JRPG, just fuck yeah. Turn-based RPGs, strategy RPGs, you give me an RPG, I'm a happy boy. But regardless, this is an RPG game, and so you're going after these 7 stars, and let's get into this. So let's talk about the graphics of this game, because it's quite awesome. So you got this awesome 2D art style. Everything's covered in a nice thick black outline, just making everything pop, and I love that. I remember I learned about that at a very young age when I was, coloring and drawing, doing things that kids do. And I was taught at a very young age to outline everything in a thick black line because it makes everything pop. And that's exactly what this game is doing. Just everything's popping. The colors are popping. Everything's kind of popping off of the screen. And this game, I love the paper aesthetic of the game. So everything's made out of paper. So it's all wobbly and just, it looks like everything's made out of paper. Paper mache, construction paper, stuff like that. Everything's made out of paper. And everything's presented to you like you're watching a play. So you have like fans in the crowd watching you all the time. There's like the big drapes and the stuff like that. It's a very lovely presented game. I really enjoy it. And it's got some impressive scale with this game. There's like numerous times throughout this game where there's like numerous enemies on the screen at the same time. I was very impressed by that. I was like, damn, for a GameCube game, this is pushing the limit, I imagine, for the GameCube at the time. Because that was a lot of enemies on screen. Runs very smooth. Obviously, it's a Nintendo game, so you expect the performance and everything like that to be crisp, and it is absolutely very crisp. No frame rate drops, no glitching, no anything weird like that. So it's a very well-running game on Switch. I played this on Switch 1. I do not own a Switch 2. I have admittedly debated getting a Switch 2. I've thought about it because of the increasing RAM prices that are going on right now. It's inevitable that the Switch 2 is going to get a price increase. So if you are on the fence, you might want to think about it sooner rather than later because it's probably going to go up in price. I don't know how much. Could be 50, could be 100, could be... who knows? I don't know how much it's going to go up, but it sounds like it's going up. So if you want to switch to, you might want to try and grab one now before the prices go up. So anyway, that's an internal debate I'm having with myself right now. Is like, should I or shouldn't I get a Switch 2? I just don't know. But back to the graphics. Lovely character designs in this game. I really enjoy the enemy designs. It's not just your typical Mario enemies. Like, you have them. You have your Goombas, you have your Koopa Troopas, you have your Petey Piranhas and stuff like that. But there's also quite a few new design characters, like the main baddie enemy guy. He's like a fucking computer robot dude. He's cool looking. I love the iconic dragon in this game, the red dragon. I think it's on the cover of the game. I'm not 100% sure, but it's the dragon. Every time I think about this game, I think about that big red dragon, and that's just such an iconic design for me with his big red cheeks and stuff like that. Very cool enemy designs, very cool designs in general, and I just love the paper aesthetic of this world that we're in. Everything's made out of paper, and everyone moves accordingly, and it's just cool. It's very neat, it's very charming. And like I said, no performance issues on Switch 1, so that is good. We move now to sound design. Banging soundtrack. Really, really good soundtrack in this game. Catchy battle themes, great boss music, great just overworld music. The music is fantastic. No voice acting, as always. It's just a thing that's, I think eventually, this is starting to become an issue now for Nintendo, like especially the Pokemon games, where... Where's the voice acting? People are complaining now, like, openly, like, this is a drawback to the game. Like, where's the voice acting at? And that's kind of been a Nintendo theme, man. They don't really do voice acting. There's not a lot of voice acting in their mainline games. And when they do it, it's always like, do we like that? Is like, when it happened in Sunshine, people are like, I don't know about this. But voice acting has come a long way since, 2003, 2002. The talent pool out there is ridiculous. And, excuse me, I'm drinking coffee, so I might be a little burpy. I might be a little bubbled up. But regardless, what am I talking about here? I don't know. We're talking about voice acting. That's what we're talking about. But voice acting's come a long way. I feel like Nintendo would be able to and are fully capable of finding the proper talent to voice act these games and put them to that actual triple tier level. Like, other people are putting in tons of, like, think of a game like Baldur's Gate, where there's so much dialogue and so much work went into the dialogue of that game alone. And I would love to see Nintendo put in that extra care, have these characters brought to life with voice acting and stuff like that. And this game especially would have been awesome for it, because the writing in this game is spectacular. It is hilarious. This game is very funny video game. The writing is awesome, and like sometimes borderline like adult level writing. Like, there's some stuff that Mario is saying and doing in this game that I'm like, whoa, that is kind of like, whoa, you can get a T rating out of this game sometimes if this keeps up. But I really enjoy the writing of this game. It is incredibly funny. Lots of funny characters. And I think I have I do have a characters section here. We could talk about the characters. Like, I talked about Mario. Mario has a little bit of edge to him in this game. Like, there's some responses you can do in this game. Like, where it has the classic, like, do you want to do this? Yes or no? And you can say no, and it's like kind of a really funny response, kind of edgy a little bit. So I don't know. I like Mario in this game. He's got a little bit of edge to him. You got Goombella. She can use her... I don't know if I should get into this now, because it also kind of talks about gameplay and stuff as well, but all right, we'll get into the gameplay and stuff like that. That is it for sound design. It's got the classic Mario sound effects as well, the boing and the pew 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 when you go down the tunnel. It's got all the classic Mario sound effects that we're all accustomed to, so it's hitting there, but like I said, this game would have done really well with some voice acting, I think. I think if you brought these characters to life, you bring out that writing, and you really just, you deliver those lines, and you deliver the funny. I think this game would have been an all-timer, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? I think the voice acting would have really done well for this game, especially how funny it is. So we'll see. One of these days, Nintendo will get into the voice acting game, and we're going to have Mario voice acted. We're going to have Link voice acted at some point or another. There's only so long they can get away with it, right? The silent protagonist. So I feel like we're getting to that boiling point now where it is starting to become like a drawback to Nintendo games, where it's like, okay, we got no voice acting. We're in 2026 here. What are we doing? There's tons of job opportunities just not being utilized these games coming out without voice acting. So I don't know, it's just going to create a whole bunch of jobs, and I think it'll be good. Like, I know Nintendo doesn't have the best track record when they have done voice acting, but it's time, y'all. Like, we need to get these games voice acted. I'm tired of reading. I don't want to read anymore. All right, let's read some more and talk about gameplay. So like I said, it's a turn-based RPG, but with timed button prompts for attack and defense. So when Mario goes to jump in the air, you can press the A button just at the right time, and you can do an extra jump and do some extra damage, and it's a lot of fun. You can do that with all the moves. They're not all the same. You don't just have to press a button prompt. Sometimes it's you pull the stick backwards and you release it at the right time. Sometimes you got to press a certain button at the right time. You got to do a combination of buttons at the right time. There's a whole bunch of variety to the combat, and that's great. There's a lot of variety, and that's what I need when it comes to my RPGs, because I grew up early on these kind of RPGs. I played Legend of Dragoon, where it is an active combat system where I'm pressing buttons while I'm attacking. I'm not just sitting there watching this really cool animation happen or whatever. I'm used to doing something in my RPG. That's why this Paper Mario games really hit with me, because they make you do stuff. Same thing for defense. When someone attacks you, they go up in the air, you hit the button, bam, you defend, you take less damage, you take no damage, so you want to be paying attention, you want to be more, you're engaged with the battle. I don't really like I'll still play them. I'll still play those turn-based RPGs where it is straight up, I just select an attack, they do it. All right, they select their attack, they do it. I don't have to do anything. I just sit there and watch it all happen. That's fine with me. I still like those games. I just prefer, I'll play them handheld on the Switch, and I'll be watching wrestling, or I'll be watching Survivor. I like to do something else while I'm playing those games, because I find them a little boring, so I need to watch something while I'm playing those kind of games. Those old Final Fantasy games, in particular, I love playing on Switch handheld, because I can just sit there, watch some wrestling, watch some hockey, watch whatever while I'm playing them, and it's really fun and engaging still. All right, so you're doing the button prompts, you're doing that. That is a staple of the Paper Mario franchise. It is another staple of the Paper Mario franchise is the low HP numbers. Way lower than your typical RPG. We're talking you're doing 5 damage is a lot of damage in Paper Mario. You're like, whoa, I did 5 damage. You're probably, at the beginning of the game, you got, maybe 20 health, 15 health, stuff like that. Your partners only have, 10 to 20 health. They don't have a lot. But you are, in RPG, you do have, level up. You collect flower points, or I think that's what they're called. They're star points. There might be stars you're collecting, but every time you beat enemies, you collect a bunch of stars, and every 100 you level up, and you can select one thing to upgrade. So you can upgrade your health, it'll go up by 5, you can increase your flower points, that'll go up by 5, or your battle points, which will also increase by 5. We'll talk about all that. But before we talk about that, Mario also has a parry. It's called Super Guard. But the timing window for that one's really tight. So you have 2 different kinds. You have a parry, and you have a defend. The window is much bigger. You can kind of fuck it up a little bit, and you'll still probably get the defend. With the Super Guard, you gotta be on. You gotta be on point, but it's worth it. If you get it, you get 0 damage, and you damage your opponent. So it's really worth it to get the Super Guard. It is hard to get down though. So I found myself, every new area I got to, at first I would start using the regular guard until I got used to the new enemies' attack patterns. Then I would upgrade to the Super Guard and start trying that out, and so on and so forth. But it's a high-risk, high-reward system, because if you miss it, which is very easy to miss, you get full damage. So it's a risk-reward system. You also have flower points for special attacks, you get a bunch of jumps, you get a bunch of powerful hammer attacks. Those are your main attacks. Mario has a jump. You can do multi-jump, you can do power jumps, you can do fucking tornado jumps, so you're attacking enemies in the air, and so on. There's a bunch of, so you have badges, and the badges unlock a whole bunch of different shit. We'll talk about those in a second. But use your flower points to use special moves. You only get so many of those, so be careful. You can use a whole bunch of different items that you have. The classic mushroom that'll refill your health. You got fire flowers that'll deal fire damage to a group of enemies. You got honey to refill your flower points. And you got shops all throughout the game and stuff like that to replenish your stuff, classic RPG stuff. You're traveling from town to town, place to place, and you're just, all right, what problem do we have to solve here? You solve the problem, you find the star, all 7 of them, you open the door. That's your basic gameplay loop. Collect badges for bonus abilities. So these badges that you find, they're like little perks, basically. They can increase your health, give you more power, new abilities. So you can find ones that's like, okay, you unlock the power jump, super power hammer thing. So you want to find these things. They're hidden around pretty well. There's a lot of hidden stuff in this game. They'll be hidden. I like the way that they hide stuff here because, like, it's not 3D, so, like, you know, you have a rock there and you can just go right behind the rock and there'll be something hidden behind it. You're like, oh snap, you can, like, knock over things, you can hit trees and things will fall out of them. So little hidden things all over the place. And of course, it is a Paper Mario game, so you got cool paper abilities. You could turn yourself into a fucking paper airplane, turn yourself sideways so you're paper thin and you could squeeze through, like, really tight gaps. And, like, those ones were tricky too. There were some, like, little gap holes that I'm like, I didn't see them, and I'm like, oh shit, I could squeeze myself through there. So you're doing that. You can blow loose paper away. You can roll into a paper ball, turn into a little boat. Like, there's a whole bunch of cool paper abilities, and you're unlocking these nicely all throughout the game. You know, you're getting these abilities one at a time. You learn how to use them. Classic, great level design in this game. I like the pacing of the game as well. Very good pacing. You're constantly getting new abilities, new powers. You're constantly leveling up, so you're getting that dopamine or whatever you want out of a video game. You're also battling on a stage, like I talked about. So you're kind of like in a play kind of deal. That's kind of the theming of the game. The theme of the battles, anyway, is that you're on stage. You got this audience in front of you. And the audience, like, plays a part in the battles as well. So, like, every once in a while, it'll be like, oh, someone's trying to throw something at you in the audience. You have to, like, shut that shit down. You got to press the X button and beat the shit out of the crowd. And you tell them to stop it. But every once in a while, they'll also jump up on stage and they'll do something. They'll drop a fucking sandbag on your head, or they'll pour water on your head. They also do things to enemies as well. It's not always on you. Excuse me. But I like how they get involved. And you're trying to get the crowd going, so that, you know, doing attacks. You can also appeal to the crowd, which gets your super meter, and that unlocks, like, super attacks, which are very helpful. They can do, you know, big damage. They can buff you. They can increase your, they can get your health back. They're very useful, but you have to keep the audience engaged with the fight. It's easy. You just play the game and the audience will get involved on their own. But it's really cool. I like how they get involved and they jump up on stage and stuff like that. And sometimes during battle, I don't really know how you do this, but they have, like, a matching little rolling game that you match up the 3 things or whatever, and it'll, depending on what symbol you get. So if you roll 3 mushrooms, that'll refill your health. If you re-roll 3 stars, it'll refill or 3 flowers, it'll refill your flower points. If you get the star, it'll refill everything, which is great. There's also poison mushrooms, so if you accidentally roll 3 poison mushroom, it'll hurt you. I'm also terrible at this game. Oh my goodness. Every time it came up, I think I got it maybe 2 or 3 times before the game finally realized I'm really bad at this, and it put up a prompt for me to help me time it properly. So that was really nice of them. But yeah, in terms of extra stuff, like extracurricular activities in this game, there's not a lot. There is a trouble office you can go to in Rougeport, which is kind of like the hub town. But you can go there and there's, like, a big list of just random shit you can do. Go find this guy, go collect this thing, go, you know, just running around town doing odd jobs. It's pretty cool. I did a few of them. I didn't feel the need to do them because you're just getting, like, coins, items, you know, stuff I didn't really need already. So I didn't really bother with doing the odd jobs. But they were fun. You know, one was like, oh, go chase this guy down, and he would, like, hide himself in, like, 3 different random places around town. I had to go find him. Shit like that. It was okay. It was fine. And they also have a lot of hidden stuff. They have star pieces hidden all over the place, man. I don't know how many there are, but there's a lot of them. And I found a bunch of them. Like, they were hidden all over the place. I would randomly walk behind something and bam, there's a star piece. I'm like, oh snap. I imagine there's probably, like, fucking 200 of these things hidden around, and no, I'm not finding all of them. That's not me. I don't do collectibles. I'm not a collectible guy. It has to be a very, very special game for me to want to collect all the collectibles, because, like, I just hate pulling up a guide and having to track the guide and, like, all right, did I get that one? Did I miss? Oh, and especially when you get to the end of the guide and you might have missed one, you're like, fuck, which one did I miss out of the 200 out there? Like, which one did I? I'm like, fuck that. I'm not dealing with that crap. So, but anyway, there's collectibles and stuff like that you can find in this game. So let's talk about characters now. We got a whole bunch of good characters in this game. You got a party and all that. So that's another thing you're collecting along the way in this game. Every time you get to a new place, you're probably going to find a new party member or someone like that to join the crew. So let's talk about the crew right now. So first you get Goombella. Very similar to I forget what his name was in the first game, but you get a Goomba partner in the first game. And very similar. They do the same stuff. Goombella can use her tattle ability to tell you about enemies. She'll tell you their weaknesses. She'll tell you how much health they have. Very useful. Admittedly, after, like, I started getting other party members, I started using Goombella less and less and less and less. She doesn't really... They don't level up. Like, they don't get extra health points. They don't get anything extra like that. And Goombella doesn't really... outside of her tattle ability, all she can do is a head bonk. So she wasn't all that useful to me, so I didn't use her a whole lot. Then you get Koops. Koops can use his shell for battle and to hit faraway objects. So everyone has, like, an ability you can use outside of battle as well to help you. You got puzzles you got to solve in this game as well. You'll be like, okay, I got to reach this thing. Koops can shoot his shell out to reach further things. So it's like, oh, there's a key over there across the way. Shoosh. You shoot out fucking Koops' shell and he grabs it and pulls it back for you. You're like, oh, fuck yeah, Koops, you're the man. And he's a good character. He starts out really scared and, you know, very unconfident. And by the end of the game, he's confident. And he's like, oh, I'm a leader now. I'm going to be the mayor of the town that I live in now. You're like, oh, cool. Look at this guy go. He's got it all figured out. So that's pretty cool. Koops is all right. Didn't use them a whole lot. Very similar. Like, the newer party members, they just get better and better. So you just end up using the new party member more and more. Then you get Flurry. Flurry has some huge tatas. She's got some big old boobies on her. I was surprised when she came popping around the corner. I was like, damn, she got some big old tatas right there. And yeah, very interesting character design on her. They're really not shy with her chest region. But she uses her wind power to push away enemies and loose paper. So you might find while you're walking around the world, you might see like a fold in a paper on a wall. You're like, oh, what the hell do I do with that? You use Flurry, she can blow the paper off, and there'll probably be a hidden chest or something behind it. Very useful. And her blowing ability is pretty useful, actually, because she can just blow away weaker enemies, so you don't have to deal with them. So you just whoosh, just blow them away, they're gone. It does cost quite a bit of flower points, but she was useful. I used Flurry quite a bit. Then we got Yoshi. You can actually name Yoshi in this game. They give you the option to name him. I just named mine Yosh. I don't know, he seemed like kind of a punk rocker. He's got like a fucking mohawk thing going on. I really like the design of this Yoshi. He's kind of badass, punk rock looking dude. And Yoshi can do the Yoshi stuff. He can gulp up other enemies, fire them at each other to do damage. Pretty useful. And he also has a flutter ability, so you can jump over gaps that are just a little bit too far for Mario to make. And it's also, I like using Yoshi probably the most in my travels, because you can jump on Yoshi and he just moves way faster. So that's just a way to move way faster in the game, is just jump on Yoshi, off you go. He can't jump though. He can flutter, but he cannot jump, so you have to watch out for that. Then you got Vivian. Vivian is one of the classic characters. She starts out bad. She's in a group of baddies, and then she's just getting berated all the time, being called a loser and useless, and she gets sick of it, and she joins our side. So we're like, oh, okay, we'll take you. And Vivian's pretty useful, actually. She can hide Mario in the shadows and during combat. So if there's like an enemy that's like, oh, I'm powering up, watch out for my super attack, and you can just literally go into the ground and just avoid the attack completely. Very useful, especially against the last boss, because the last boss does shit like that. And Vivian is a must-have for that final boss fight, so she is useful. She also, outside of combat, you can use this ability and she will suck you into the ground. You can listen in on people's conversations. So, like, that was kind of the puzzle. It's like, oh, there's this room and something's hidden in it, but we don't know what it is. So use Vivian. You go invisible, and then the thing that you need appears all of a sudden. You're like, oh, cool. So, yeah, Vivian was pretty useful. I liked her. She's like a purple ghost. Very nice design on her. And then you finish off with Bobbery, the bomb with the wicked mustache. Oh, yeah. He's like an old bomb or bomb, whatever. He can be thrown to explode rocks or activate switches. So just throw him. He can explode big rocks, hide hidden things. Or that are hiding hidden things, as I should say. Very useful in combat. He's probably the strongest one of out of all of them. He can do the most damage. I like his little bomb attack. You can throw 3 bombs, and they'll explode after a turn or 2 or whatever the fuck. And very useful. I used Bobbery probably the most once I acquired him. He was like my number 1 party member. He has the most health. He does the most damage. So like, why wouldn't I have this guy? And he's got a useful ability, so there's all that going for him. So those are the main good characters of the game. Bowser's also in this game. I needed more Bowser. There wasn't enough Bowser moments in this game. Like, you get to play as Bowser in a couple of moments. There's some, like, kind of Mario levels that you play, but you're playing them as Bowser. Very cool moments. You're just, like, destroying the levels. Very fun, but not enough Bowser in this game, because Bowser's probably my favorite character in the Paper Mario universe, because he's all like, I'm the best and no one can stop me. I'm super confident and awesome. And yeah, he's a great character. I wanted more and more of him. You also have Peach. The Peach moments kind of suck. Peach is stolen away, obviously, and you'll have to deal with her every once in a while, and you have to do these, like, I don't know, there's some computer, his name is like Tech or whatever, he's like, oh, Peach, come here, I'm gonna do experiments on you, and she's like, okay, fuck yeah, do experiments on me, bro, and that's what they do, and it's not very fun, it's not very engaging, it's very lame. It's definitely the low point of the game are the Peach sections. I would have preferred they were Bowser sections instead, because they were entertaining and fun and good and stuff like that. The Peach sections, nah, dog, just not for me. But outside of that, that's all the main characters. I like the main baddie dude. He's fine. Like, he's classic. They do the same thing in every fucking Mario game. Like, the baddie is like, I got you. You did all the work for me, and here I am at the end to steal all of it away, and ha ha ha. It's the same plan every freaking time. So that's what he's got going on. Outside of that, let's talk about some of the moments of this game that really made me, I don't know, laugh, or just some good moments in this game. So going with Koops into Hooktail Castle was fucking funny, man. So Koops, his dad went into this castle like years ago and apparently died, like got burned alive by the dragon and all this shit. And you go in there and you find this heartfelt letter, which you think is from his dad, and he's reading it, and he's all like, oh, father, and then it turns out it's not even his dad, and you're like, oh, what the hell? And it turns out his dad was alive the whole time anyway, so it was like, I don't know, that's like the edgy humor that this game kind of has, like, oh, fuck, he's dead, and like, oh, shit, wait, he's not even my dad, oh, fuck this guy, there's a bunch of dead guys, who gives a shit? So that was really funny as well. So I believe it's Glitzville is the place that you have to climb the ranks using the Game Boy Advance, whatever. You have like a big tournament that you have to go into, and you choose battles with special stipulations on it. Pretty fun, man. It did take a while. There was like, I think 20 rounds you had to go through, so it was like 20 battles you had to do. I was like, okay, this is a little odd. So it feels a little bit like padding of the game a little bit. We'll pad it up and get some extra hours out of the players in this one, but I got screwed over in one of the ranks. I got poisoned by some cake that I ate. I was like, oh, obvious, it's cake. I'm going to eat the cake. I ate the cake. I got poisoned. I got screwed out of rank 3. And that was a situation that happened right there. But that portion of the game, that's probably the longest chunk of the game right there, is going through that tournament. It is fun. There's also a like 100 floor fucking thing you can go through. I did not do that. I've watched someone do it, and I'm like, no, I remember this. It takes a long ass time going through 100 floors of battles, and I think you have to battle like every boss in the game. It's a big challenge mode. I'm good. I did not do that. But you show up into Twilight Town, and people are just randomly turning into pigs. So, like, some witch is there, and just, like, randomly, every, like, so many hours, someone will just randomly turn into a pig, and you're like, what the fuck is going on in this place? And Mario gets his identity stolen in there, and just a whole bunch of hoopla is going down. Shit is wild in Twilight Town. The Smorg boss on the train was actually kind of tricky, and let's talk about the difficulty of the game right now. Overall, it's a pretty damn easy game, pretty simple. Like I said, it's not baby's first RPG, but it's definitely like its second or third RPG, because it's pretty simple. It's not too hard. The numbers are lower, which makes things a little easier to calculate, so you don't have to get overwhelmed by doing 9,999 damage. You're doing like 8 damage and stuff like that, like I said. But there is some trickiness to the game. There are some boss fights that I had trouble with. Smorg boss was one. He had a claw attack that did 10 damage to both party members, which caused some issues, man. Like I said, 10 damage, that's a lot. That's like half or 3/4 of Mario's health at the time. So that was a lot. So that dude was a little bit tricky. As long as you have health regen, that you have mushrooms in your bag, you should be fine. There's like life mushrooms, so if you do go down, it'll bring you back to life, and you can just keep going. If you do happen to die, I did die a few times in this game. You just start back. You can rather restart the battle over again. You can just restart it. You can go back to your last save. If you want to try and go to a store and restock some stuff, you can do that as well. Not a lot of like boss backtracking. There's not really worried about that. There is backtracking in the game. Like, the game is very backtracky, because you have to constantly go back to the 1,000-year door. You put in another star, and you're constantly going back to Rougeport and going back through those areas. So there is backtracking in the game, but it's done pretty well. And like I said, the hint system is fantastic. Without it, I would be constantly lost in this game. I would have been looking up guides a lot in this game. So, like I said, the original game, I imagine you were getting lost in there a lot, because you're like, okay, where the fuck am I going? There's like, now there's a new door, or like some new tunnel that opened up, and I don't know where the fuck it is. So it can be confusing like that at times. But anyway, speaking of confusing, finding General White. Holy fuck, man. That was just a pain in the ass. I needed to backtrack a ton during that section and ask random people where he was. So you're just going back to all the places that you visited, talking to everybody that's around. You're like, yo, have you seen this guy? You've seen this guy? And eventually someone's like, yo, yeah, I think I saw him. He was over here. Then you got to go way the fuck over there and freaking check with another person and another person and another person. Then you finally find him. And then you got to like bash him awake like 17 times before he finally wakes up. You're like, damn, is this game broken? Am I doing something wrong here? So that was a weird moment. But the cannon part, that was really cool though. So you get to shoot this big cannon. You shoot yourself to the moon. Pretty fucking cool. Sort of spoilers, I guess. You end up in the moon, but yeah. Now we get towards the end of the game. There's like the second last boss fight. Love the twist during the fight in the battle at the Palace of Shadow. Got a real good chuckle out of the dialogue in that part. I don't want to spoil it, because it's like probably the funniest part of the game. And it was actually a solid challenge, because it's 2 boss fights in one. So you fight one boss, and then you think it's going into phase 2. Something happens. New boss is here. Hilarity. And boom, you're fighting somebody else. You're like, oh snap, this is crazy. Pretty challenging. Got nothing on the final boss. The final boss, damn, dude, that thing was a legit challenge. Way harder than anything else in this game, like by far. This final boss was like a legit challenge. Like, it took me 6 tries, I think, 6 or 7 tries, something like that. I almost couldn't beat this game, dude, because it was challenging me that hard. Like, I had to go backtrack all the way back to the town, get my health, everything, get my items in order. I had to like really stock up. I spent all my money stocking up. Like, I did everything that I could to get myself as prepared as possible for this boss. And this boss is not fucking around, man. It does everything annoying that, you know, these type of bosses do. They heal themselves, status effects, buffing herself constantly, does hella damage, and has a huge health pool. This health, 150 health, that's a lot. That's a lot to whittle down. And she's healing herself, and the healing does more than you're damaging her. So that was a real hell of a boss fight. I had a hell of a challenge. I had to look up some guides. I had to look up some strategies to be like, okay, what am I doing wrong here? Because, like, I'm trying as hard as I can, and I'm not getting even close to beating this boss. Like, the closest I got was, like, she still had, like, 30 some odd health left, and I was, like, completely depleted. I had nothing left. And, like, your party members can barely do a thing to her. Like, they're so weak already. They basically get one-shotted. They're done. Like, they got 10 health. She's doing like 13 damage per hit, and it was a hell of a challenge. I was like, whoa, probably too challenging for like a child to do. Like, I can't see a child getting through that without like a lot of help, maybe help from an older sibling or help from the internet or something like that, because that boss was fucking wild. I was shocked at how hard it was. Almost made the list for like one of the hardest bosses I ever fought. Like, that thing was legit. I was taken aback by that, but I finally beat it seemingly randomly. Like, I was, just in there, just battling, grinding away, and out of nowhere, it just seemed like it gave up. It just died. I was like, oh, it's over. Like, there's no way. I was like, no, I did not go through 150 damage. It was healing like crazy. I think it just gave up. I think the game just gave me it. They're like, you know what? This guy's been grinding for like 3 hours now trying to beat this boss. Let's just give it to him. That's what it felt like to me, honest to God. Like, I did not feel like I beat that boss, but I did. I beat the game. And yeah, you collect the treasure. Everything's good. Peach is back. She's going to get captured again, obviously. But yeah. That was a damn good game. Took me about 40 hours to finish with side quests left. I didn't finish all the side quests. I didn't collect all the collectibles. So there's probably like another few hours of gameplay there that I left on the table. So yeah, about 40 hours. Typical RPG level right there, I would say. 40 hours is a nice number. Got through it in a few weeks. Really enjoyable game. So we'll talk about my minor gripes with the game. We'll talk about the things that I liked about the game. We'll score it, and we'll send you on your way. So my minor issues with the game, some moves are really annoying to do, especially when I was doing that final boss. I had to do this tremor attack where you just have to press the A button over and over again, but it takes like fucking a minute and a half, and I'm like, holy crap, this is some summoning Final Fantasy bullshit right here. Really didn't like doing that move over and over again, but there is some repetition. Like, I didn't overly, like, I did find myself avoiding battles at time. I'm like, oh, I don't really want to fight anything right now. I'm good, because I just don't want to do the combat system right now. So, like, some moves are repetitive, and it's just not that fun to do. Like, the hammer attack, you just pull back the stick, and you let it go. It's very basic. Some of them are more fun to do than other attacks, but I still had, some moves are just not that fun to do. Lots of backtracking. Now, it's well designed, like the backtracking's well designed. You're getting new powers to unlock new areas and stuff like that, but it can be a thing that people don't like to do. So there is a lot of backtracking in this game. You can get confused where the hell to go next. Like, thank God that hint button was in this game, because I used it, like I said, I swear it like probably 100 plus times. Like, where am I going? What am I doing? So that hint button was huge, but, that's kind of a drawback to the game. Like, I just constantly didn't know where I was going or what I'm doing, so that's the thing. Also, more Bowser, bro. Where was Bowser in this game? I did not get enough Bowser action. He was not prominent enough. I wanted him, like, to interact with Mario more. He was doing his own thing. Like, he was off doing his own little thing, and it was like, I just wanted more of it. And the Peach sections kind of sucked. The final boss was way too hard, like, comparatively to everything else in this game. Like, that jump in difficulty was way too high. Like, I'm just imagining, like, a 10-year-old kid doing that boss and, like, ripping his hair out and just freaking out and screaming at his mom, like, I hate you, Mom! Why'd you buy me this game? Ah! And stuff like that. So those are my minor gripes with the game. The pros of the game, the things that are awesome, hilarious writing. I love the writing in this game, freaking hilarious. Art style and presentation is awesome. I love the look of this game. I love the paper aesthetic. Love the play stage thing going on there. That's awesome. I like the combat in the game. No, don't get me wrong. Like, I enjoy that it's engaging. There's a ton of moves to use. It's just that you get used to the moves that you like to use. There's certain moves that are just better than other moves, so you're like, I'm going to use my strongest move right now instead of, like, the move that's more fun, but I think the combat is fun. Music is great. Level design is awesome. great world to go into. You're constantly upgrading and leveling up. You're getting new abilities, finding new attacks, and just, yeah, you're constantly getting rewarded throughout the whole entire game. Awesome video game. I'm going to hit it with an 8.5 out of 10. Great video game right there. Highly recommended, especially if you are newer to RPGs. I'm not saying that if you're an RPG veteran, you're still gonna have a good time with this game. It's a great RPG. Don't get me wrong. It's a little bit basic. It's a little easy. You know, at times I found myself playing this game while I was watching some wrestling or something. It is a great Switch title. It's great on handheld. It works great on handheld. I can't recommend this game enough. It's definitely an essential title for anyone's Switch library. You can get it on sale. I got it for $55, which is a great deal. It's a very replayable game. I wanted this one because I knew how replayable Paper Mario was. I love replaying these games, so I wanted to have this one in my collection, and I'm very happy to now own it. And now it's in my collection forever and always, and that makes me very happy. So yes, I recommend this game for any Mario fan, any RPG fans out there, especially if you're new to RPGs. This is a great introductory RPG. Very funny, very charming, very friendly. It's a great time. Great, charming video game. I had a blast with it, and didn't want it to end. I found myself I was kind of happy that I couldn't finish that final boss. So I'm like, yay, it's not over yet. I can keep playing it, and I did find myself getting pulled away from Arc Raiders to play this game, so that says a lot about this game. It's definitely on my early Xyz list. It's on the list right now as one of my favorite games of the year, but it is very, very early, so we'll see if Paper Mario can survive the whole entire year. It's got 11 more months to go, so we'll see if Paper Mario can hold on there, but what a delightful video game. So charming, the writing so funny, and love the art style. Just a great-ass video game. So happy that I bought it, and I encourage you guys to go out and buy it yourselves because it's a great video game. So there we go, everybody. Another episode down in terms of what other kind of episodes we want to do. I forgot to mention I'm playing a Secret Mario game. I'll be doing an episode on that. So there's a 3D Mario game we'll be doing in the future here. Shouldn't take me long to get through it. It's just a 3D Mario game, so they're not that long. I imagine we'll probably do Gears of War next. Or favorite characters. There's a bunch. There's favorite characters, desert island video games. We got Gears. We got we got stuff. Secret Mario video game that I'm playing right now. So yeah, we got some episodes coming out. And but always hit me with your suggestions. You have a video game that you would like me to play, let me know, and maybe I can play it, or maybe I know it well enough I can do an episode. Maybe there's already an episode. Make sure you're checking the backlog of these episodes. They age like a fine wine. You can listen to any of these episodes anytime, so you don't have to keep up weekly. You can watch them whenever or listen to them whenever. They're good like that. And I upload all these to the YouTube channel, GamerGX Videos. I'll try and put the link in the description. I have been having some technical issues on my end, on my computer. I haven't been able to log into my podcasting website and been able to edit on the computer. I have to do all my editing on my phone, so it's making things a little more difficult. So that's why the upload schedule has been a little messed up, and so on and so forth. I'm trying to get through this, but having some technical issues right now, but we're still getting the episodes out as soon as I can, so that's a good thing. So stick around, make sure you're reviewing the podcast and being as awesome as you already are, but if you want to be even more awesome than you already are, make sure you're reviewing the podcast, share it around with a friend or two, do all that stuff, subscribe to the YouTube channel and all that great stuff. And there we go, everybody, another episode down. We'll be back again with some more GX Bluff Games.